Hi, folks. Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Before we get in it, let's talk about our sponsors. The Historical Fencing Guild is made possible by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockert. That's me. We've already got some early folks arriving. Let me get my banner hopping and popping. Sorry if I'm coming into this a little fumbled. We've had a massive windstorm, so I wasn't even sure my internet would hold up. That means that any minute it could kick back up and knock us right back offline. But if there's one thing we can't do is we can't stop the signal. The other thing that's made possible to keep us afloat are my amazing Patreon folks at www.patreon.com/thehistoricalfencingguild. Folks, that's me. For all your needs in the evening. Let's see who else in the house we've got. It's funny, I've got 3 people commenting, and it says to, I know YouTube lies to me. Okay. Silver Ogre, good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I've been dealing with morning shows on Thursday, so I'm a little discombobulated. Yeah, Ogre, glad to see you're here early. We've got the amazing Joe Bachman. Joe put out a wonderful dice roller for at least one of my games for Big Stompy Robots. I'm going to be working with him on a couple more basic projects. I have some shenanigans, and there's something really cool for Big Stompy Robots that's an Excel program, an Excel sheet actually, but it does all the math that Richie Asplund put together for me. I want to see about getting something like that made into an app when Joe gets through this long and tedious process with the same deal we have going, because I'm always plotting. And folks, when I do games and stuff, I get to help people. We get to play more. And that money lets me do things like fund the Historical Fencing Guild. So that is really awesome. Thesis is in the house. Hello, Thesis. Hello, Foxy, who I'm sure is cuddled up right next to him. And hello, Kitty, wherever you may be. And yes, I said Hello Kitty, and I had to look up at my Sanrio Fencer Hello Kitty because it just fit. Yeah, that's where I am, folks. All right, Silver Ogre, pour in the coffee. Guys, have it for those of us who can't. Here's to the folks who suddenly have medical things that say no more caffeine. I've been a couple months dry with only one slushie in like 3 months. Yeah. I have to find where it got stashed. I think it's on my Google Drive for Big Stompy Robots. It was the one he made that calculated your point costs and stuff for all the different units. Eventually, I'd love to make a full suite system to make it rolling. Oh, I'm all about... Okay, I like the name Big Stompy Robots. It goes along with classics like Macho Women with Guns. I like Cows with Guns. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. And, of course, the implied sequel, Chickens on Choppers. But, folks, yes. Like I said, I'm a little out of it. We actually had power flickering. It was just a fun to do. And I got a cut or something on the back of my neck. Just one of those wonderful days. Yeah, they're in my little neck of central Indiana. We're getting about 50+ mile an hour side winds, just saying hi and choke slamming garbage cans like Randy Orton. They're sneaking around in back. What's he doing? Bam! But what do we have to discuss? Well, happy Friday to the lovely Cindy Kep. Cindy Kep made my manatee. She is one of the 2 great promoters, both of which frequent my show, and I am blessed. She's also the author of Animal Eye with Raul Harris? Not Harris. I say his last name wrong. Anyway, talented artist. Ooh, what happened there? But we've got good stuff coming down the pipe. Oh, you could lose your mind. Let me see. I'm going to crack this window open for a second. I had to turn it down because, okay, we are between ribbon storms. Yes, Roel Cruz. And I'm trying to say his name right. I'm going to put that up. Talented, gifted individual. My speech impediment has no disrespect to anybody. But yes, his stuff is amazing. Ogre stuff is amazing. The other thing I have to do, hold on, because nope. Haha, my new page opens up first. I love that. I need to get a link. Because like I said, I came scootering in. And we've got, like I said, and folks are greeting each other. Thank you for giving me this moment while I get something cool, because it's really me giving back to one of my Patreon supporters, the incomparable FrogG. Come on, come on, come on. Doink. Copy link address. There we go. We'll come over here. So, folks, FrogG has a new comic project out, and I believe that's the link to it. If not, I certainly tried. Let me see if I can't get a better feeling, because that felt a little. Nope, that was the shortcut link. Here's the fancier link. I know this is totally off topic, and if that offends anyone, I am sorry. But I try to help the folks who've bare minimum helped me. And FrogG's got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. So let's try it. If that link doesn't go, the Indiegogo, it's coming soon. There's also another Indiegogo, which I will retrack down in a moment, for the Long Shots, which is a bunch of people who made really great comics thinking they were involved in the deal of a lifetime, only to be grifted and left with the shaft and vast quantities of their comics. So they're trying to make their money back. But we're not here to talk about that. Folks, we're here to talk the glories of swordplay and building. So I have a few things to... Oh, I am just hopped. Ha! Ha! That's true. I tried to keep a framework here because this is the Historical Fencing Guild, but we don't usually stay on target. It's great seeing you, Johnny. And please feel free to interrupt, because basically I had one of those doctor's appointments that's only supposed to be a half hour and turned into 4. So I kind of had to do the whole come skating in at the last minute. So, yes, we are still going. Now, I have reviewed my usual suspects, and I will be happy to bring that up as part of discussion if I can get what I wanted to see. I was, of course, at our good friends, Purple Heart Armory, and I saw something both cool and completely inexpensive. So I want to bring this up because I look for ways, frankly, where even somebody as broke as I am can support companies I believe in with a message I believe in, and really bring out, do a little part and get something for it. So let me hit this, share screen. Come on. We've got this. No, just the window, because it would look redundant and be an exception. Here we go. Boom. This is a car decal, a HEMA car decal, and it's only 50 cents. Now, why would I plug this? Well, one, because it's 50 cents instead of the $5 it was going for. 2, guys, this is dead sexy. And 3, it promotes both Purple Heart Armory, which is an American HEMA company who's really, really great at responding to us. And if you buy it through my link, yes, I may get 1% of 50 cents, which means like half a cent. But it will show that you guys are paying attention and that what I ask about matters, so that when I ask for things like a Penty cup hilt rapier, my attitude will be taken seriously. Plus, it's really kickingly awesome. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Pop. This has my attention. Pop, and I will just do that for now. Much thanks to Bladed Thesis. He found a new to me channel with a new fan form, like the teacher started posting it yesterday, that's not the steaming pile of manure I found with my last effort. That, oh, yes, yes, yes. Folks, that right there, what you are seeing in this window, whoop, is what I founded the Historical Fencing Guild to do. I wanted everyone to learn how to sword fight, whatever way they do. So I've been codifying my stuff, making it as cheap as Amazon will let me, and putting it out there. Why? Because we need to build as a community. You know, I'm part of something called the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, which I have an older commercial for that I found in my files, and I may actually run that toward the end as an ad. I'm experimenting with ads. Hema, I have evidence. Dun, dun, dun. Hema, I have the evidence. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, but this is what it's about. My favorite practices, guys. I've been doing this for 20 years now. A few years ago, we were actually being hosted by Steve Clausen. And Steve and his then wife, Rachel, were hosting us. And we had about 24 people fairly reliably. Iman! I get you. Okay. I took it a wrong direction, but I can roll with it. And when I came out, I saw something great. A couple of the noobs were sitting working on armor. We had a pencil lot guy talking to a Krav Maga guy about what they thought about karambits. A couple, retired veterans, they're veterans, but they're not active duty, were talking about their respective knife arts. We had a collegiate fencer and a historical rapierist discussing what kind of binds work and why the weapons are. And what you have is this physical conversation. Okay. And this is really. Hi, Foxy. Yay! Okay. But that's really what I want this channel to be. That's what the Historical Fencing Guild is supposed to be. Yes, there are two groups, a few people. I remember there was a secret group. Yes, there is a Historical Fencing Guild secret group that's not public. Nick, what goes on the secret group? We want to know. I get people who ask because they're, you get things like, hey, we're all having practice this week, guys. Who's bringing the pop? Who wants to pitch in to cook? We're going to do this exciting stuff that totally would dox everybody involved and make things difficult. So you have that. Now you go to the public group, and we have people doing what we do on this show constantly. We're talking this style versus that style. Let's watch one of Shad's videos. Let's review that. The irony of a fencing group who can't stay on target. Well, folks, I'm working on that. I'm doing some things. I've made some more life changes, and we'll see if I can't get a little more focused. I don't want to talk too much in detail until I can make sure that it's actually working. But, cross your fingers for me. I'm on my end trying to do something groovy. If the wind gets too loud, let me know. There's nothing I can do it. Super double secret probationary. Yeah. ADOS, attention deficit, ooh shiny. But yeah, basically, that's what I'm working on. So we'll see. If you guys notice a big change in me and it's negative, hit me up because I'm going to really lean on you guys. There shouldn't be a stigma about talking about such things. But, yeah, okay. Let's talk about that. Very often I disagree with Shad about different things. Sometimes I agree with him. It does happen. And sometimes it's just entertaining. But I can see why it's grating. Johnny, and folks, because this is a channel that thrives on viewer feedback. Well, see, there you go. Staying on targets for archery groups and for people who are using the Force while piloting X-Wings in trench runs. But getting back to that, what do you guys want out of this channel? I know I have a very defined list of we're going to talk this week about I have all the stuff I didn't do last week is on here, and a random sketch that wasn't very good, but that was back when my hand was completely shot and I was forcing myself to draw. Let's talk. I'd like to know what you like, what you want more of. Obviously, the format of this show will largely stay conversational, just because part of it is the setting. It's very hard to do great physical explanation conversation while running a practice. In a month, maybe two, depending on weather and the fact that I'm trying to rework some of my facilities to make things better, we will be doing more live fights again, and we will recorded fights. We may do live streaming, although I don't like to live stream combat for obvious reasons, and cell phones. I'm literally more scared of somebody's cell phone ringing. But what do you guys want? We've got the commentary going, so let's go down this. Staying on targets for the archery group. I don't know what. A personal opinion, as long as we're respectful. On the off chance that Shad Brooks is watching this and watches my channel, one, by all means, wade in and say something. I've done some fair, I believe, very civil disagreement videos. I probably will in the future. I just don't want to be one of those channels that's piggybacking on somebody or being perceived to be piggybacking. But I do want to know what makes it better for you guys, what you want more of, because a lot of the format of here, we're going to review new stuff. Right now, I'm not seeing a lot of new stuff. There is some gear I want to acquire, but as host and swordmaster, and this has been the bane of my personal gear experience, I have to put the needs of the facility first. Now, I'm not actively buying training swords because right now I don't have any real new students. The people who will be coming back, save one, will have basically their own gear. And they are planning to come back. I've been speaking with some people, so we should have some more of that. I want to do live conversations. I really want to do that, host the panel on women in martial arts. I really think that would be important and respectful. You guys are greeting each other. Ogre and Thesis and Foxy, you guys are all chatting, and I love it. I'm not going to bring it all up because it doesn't really warrant that. But FrogG. Hey, Frog, I already plugged your video, your wonderful Indiegogo program for Operation Wrench and all that good stuff. Always feel free to throw your links, and FrogG's already doing what he does. That's why I also put up, because in case anyone asks, no, that's a typo. And that's another typo. That should be .com. Oh, my fingers are fat. Oh, just out of curiosity, can you all hear the wind outside? Because it is absolutely screaming in my ears. Why I've given up headphones is I just kill them. I move around too much. I have one other thing I want you guys to do. Those of you who follow Triple D over on Red Valkyrie Presents, go over there, give them my love. My day walking schedule has prevented me from being active, and it feels wrong to try to get into the comments much at that time of night because I'm barely awake with my meds. And FrogG is just greeting everybody. So that's going on. So yes, go to citycap.com. Go there. I'm going to throw another plug because my brain today, folks, is a special day, and my brain just isn't holding on. So I want you guys to go to risingtide.pub, look up Brian K. Morris, and you tell that man I sent you. And you tell the folks at Red Valkyrie Presents I do love them. This is just a really kind of scrambled time for me while I'm dealing with a whole lot of medical stuff. Triple D does roll off the tongue. It's been a long time since anything that small's been in my orbit, but Triple D does roll off the tongue quite nicely, Johnny. And we're joined by Flying Feline. Flying Feline has a really, it tends toward the mature. So language, basically, if there's a warning, it can show up. But she has a trivia show on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. It runs from 5 to 6 is chat, 6 to 7 roughly is actually trivia. A lot of fun. If you're watching it, plug that too. I needed to wake up earlier for more. Never mind the furthermore. Absolutely. Now, bizarre trivia. See, I'm plugging. I may not get all the plugs right, but I'm trying to be helpful. I really felt, today I started my show and I chose kindness. I also chose the stupid itch, which I did not choose. That is a non-consensual itch. I don't know what's going on. But anytime. Yeah, groovy. Okay, so getting back onto things. Let's talk a bit. We have to talk a bit because there are some things that overlap us. One, are you guys doing any warm-up drills? Seriously, are you looking to get in shape? Now, I know that Cindy Kemp is doing her homework. She regularly posts video updates. But what are you doing and what do you want to be doing? Because you guys, motivation is great, but you need direction. For myself, I am doing pretty much, I'm just getting past every other day to daily. I'm right on that transition point, depending on my hands, slow drills, which for me is, you know what, you're right. Most stitches are non-con. And NC is no bueno. CNC is a whole nother conversation, not for the show. But, and for anyone who's asking what that is, I'm referring to machining and not that. But direction. Yes, direction is what you need. I do PT 2 times a week. Fan forms 4 to 5. Might ask me to not sword foo in the house. That's still pretty rough, but I can see it. It just saddens me. It's the only way I can look at it. But, like I said, I'm doing that. I'm working on rebuilding the list field. The Simple Sword this week went on temporary hiatus at about 3,000 plus words, somewhere around 3,000, to deal with setting up a website. And I'm learning how to do WordPress. I have to do my business side every once in a while, so that means I have to push the projects aside and get that knocked out. Sword foo outside is wonderful. Sword foo can end up engaged ceilings unless you use a nice short sword when you're training inside. Then you're far less likely it got into something. But that's one of the reasons I'm a big proponent of training with a short sword. This is one of my favorite sword trainers. It was given to me by John Miner. This is, of course, Wu Zhao's version of a Sting. There's no doubt they were ripping off Lord of the Rings with this. But I'm a hobbit, so it works. Stares at Thesis. I'm almost training. Beat them up. See, one thing Cindy Cap has... in the parlance of my youth, Cindy Cap has gunners. Like Cindy Cap and FrogG, they got gunners. Don't mess with Cindy Cap or FrogG. They're folks out there, you know what I'm saying, who will not let the disrespect of either of those people go unanswered or unaddressed. Guys, I'm kidding. I don't ever condone violence, and when I do, it's of the fun, consensual talk kind. But it's also her living situation, so don't poke too much fun. But yes, I do like to That's a good point. Drill for your environment. All right. I catch a lot of flack because I don't teach big steps. And I've had a lot of people disagree. You know what? It's hard for me to walk around with my cane on a good day and not break out the odd flow through drill. But wow, that's random. See, and I do respect that. That's why I'm like, guys, be cool. But we all just kind of, we love Cindy, so we're all like, what can we do to help? And what you can do to help is go to www.CKOEPP.com and look at her offerings. The more money you give, the better you can help Cindy Kevin. Oh God, I can't help it. I'm in full. Never mind the furthermore. That has to be warm weather, dry weather phenomenon. I understand that. Yeah, I random. Yeah, I saw that. I can understand from your situation. Thesis saying I need directions is a touch counterintuitive for a myriad of reasons, and I find all of that quite delightful. But getting back on, of course we do. Things happen to ceilings. Shoot, a pool table is enough to doom a ceiling, trust me. But if you guys aren't pre-training now, you'll feel it later in a month when the weather really opens up. Even weaponless, you can go through the motions. First position, your nails are out. Second position, your nails are down. Third position, your nails are basically to the side, so they're to your inside. This is to your outside. Guys, remember your outside and inside. Low line, inside, high line. You can work your shoulder with no weight and no item back and forth. You can practice doing these motions, and you can get it 5, 6, 7, 8. For your offline, sure looks like a certain system of parries. It's not perfect, but it's enough to give you open-handed, can teach you the same muscle memory. And that's one thing I'm really digging deep into. Oh. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but longtime viewers of the show know that a battle scythe and the ceiling fan above me have become intimately connected. Shall remain nameless. I know if you beat your roommates with a fan, Ted's hurt your living unless you room with masochists. The bee likes catching the thumb. Oh, I will never fault anyone for typos. Anyone who's seen me try to comment on Never Mind the Furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. till whenever a cookie needs to be fed on Brian K. Morris's YouTube channel. Anybody who gets in the comments, no, I'm going to blunder it, and I get typing and I double fit things. These things happen. The ceiling fan needs to practice its dodging. Oh, yes, it was an epic battle. I've had the walls come down. I've had Shoggoth invasions. It's just a matter of what's going on. It's why my study is in the shape it is. But we're working on it. And slow process is it's slow process, but that's what we need, guys. Sorry. The weather change is absolutely brutal on my throat. Fat fingering and modern tech. Hi, Foxy. Yes, well, let's get back onto things. Last week I had notes that we didn't get to, and they asked me about how I'd set up my optimum list field, and then dealing with an RPG scenario. I've got a half hour. Oh my. When your finger looks like a baby leg. Anyway, one of these weeks, feeling adventurous, I will come on and talk about Eastern martial arts. I'm a little camera shy, but Foxy and all the wonderful folks here are helping me come out of my shell. Well, what we could do, we could also set up just a practice video where, you know, we'll make arrangements and I'll just set up a room that isn't broadcast and you can just practice the whole kind of having a private conversation over vid chat. It keeps the chemistry balanced, you know. Maybe like the secret humor room equivalent, but for guildies. We might do something like that. Yes. But yes, I'd love to see you come out and talk. We can have these conversations because that's why you'll notice this is the Historical Fencing Guild. This is not the Nick Tucker School of Right is Awesome. And you know what? I have at least one friend who regularly runs a VTube avatar. I have no problem with that. It's about what makes people comfortable. I do believe we are fast approaching a sort of transhumanist period in history that I may not live to see, but I'm pretty sure my son will, where people will be able to physically and other ways change their appearance to fit how they feel. And I think that's cool. Hey, Frog, you've got everything going. Thank you for stopping by. You every luck on your upcoming campaigns. If there's one thing you can do, it's upgrade on a budget. I picked this up as an emergency in case it says HD, but this was a mighty $3.50, so that I might be able to do outside broadcasting before I switched to StreamYard and realized that I could actually stream from a phone and a tablet. Still, something like this could come in very handy. And I got cheap. Look around. You don't need the best tech. You just need functional tech. Xbox-style headphones. I've used headsets. I've used them for years. It's just I kill headsets. The other thing is, Foxy has a point. You don't have to use StreamYard through a box. You can do it through your phone. So I may do my end I'm doing it from a Lenovo all-in-one computer, which is why repositioning my camera is a little difficult because the one I use is actually the built-in one with the streaming white light of blindness. But you can use your phone. They have a lot of tripods and things. I use them when I'm filming practices. Almost everything you've seen here has been filmed on a phone, except some of my older videos. I had a little tiny bootleg GoPro for a while, and I still have it somewhere that I strapped to the top of fencing masks to try to give that first-person view really early on, back when we were at Creek Ridge Park in LaPorte County. So, yeah. And the audio off of phones is surprisingly good. It's almost like they're intended to be communication devices. So we can work through things to build you up and build up acceptance of who you are. That's a big part of what we do. Because you have to get better, you have to know what you are and you have to accept it. Ogre, if you ever want it on, I go through StreamYard. If you ever want to go on most of the shows you watch, I have a free, which is why I have the duck up here. On one of these corners, it might be flipped for you guys. But I send you a link, and it's just like taking a Facebook call. You go in, You allow Facebook to talk to it. It says you go into screen, into the studio, you let yourself in, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Trust me, tech hates me. If it's complex, it doesn't want to work. It really sounds like I might just have to host a Patreon, because you guys are all patrons, and Ogre's going to be again when his financials balance out. I might just arrange that one of these days, a Patreon only, just to chat. It won't be recorded. Everything will be open. Yes, there are Facebook video calls and audio calls. A lot of people I know use that instead of the lines because their phone service isn't that good because of the cell towers where we are. So yeah, we're way off, but I think we're okay. Researching things to death. Hi. My wife is a librarian. She's a librarian, second class, only because she hasn't paid $50, and in a couple years she'll be a librarian first class, as high as it gets. One of the secret rulers of the world. I can say that because no one believes me. I was a librarian for a long time. My brother is a librarian. Research to death? Oh, awesome. Yes, and they are free. Oh, cool. Then you should have no problem. It's very, very similar. Very plug and play. So, you know what? We will talk probably on the Patreon list, and I'll try to set up a Patreon chat if that's something you guys are really interested in. Which will be nice because then, I don't have to talk about these secret videos that I am keeping secret for you guys. Speaking of the Patreon folks, something wonderful happened. I did my cyber tacto last week. This week's came one day late because apparently I hit send and my internet crashed. Become one with research. Okay, it's real easy. Knowledge is power. Power corrupts. Study hard, be evil. Oh, then that's that. Yeah. I'm just saying StreamYard because I can set up a link for a stream. Currently, it would take me, all I'd have to know is a place to send it. So I make the room, I send out the invitations, you guys click through, follow the little instructions, and we're golden. And that would have you set up so that if you wanted to come on a live show, it would be the exact same process. Never do anything for just one reason, folks. Hey, some person, glad to see you tonight. Be one with the research. Somebody write that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to front that to some, because that's beautiful. I love that. Gables. Be glad you guys don't have to see my actual handwriting. It is chicken scratch these days. Hey, you know what? These things happen. We'll talk about it. Put my name there too. Oh, yes. There we go. Notes. Now, I got about It happens. You apologize. You keep rolling, because I'll forget. Hey, we're gonna make something really good happen. Okay, but I got asked a question that said, Nick, yes, you get sucked into an RPG setting. And I'm like, isekai? It's through the portal? What do I have? Because I know my stats. My intellectual stats are pretty groovy. My physical not as good as they used to be, but I've got a few levels. Let's rock it. And they asked, what would I do if I were sucked into an RPG? And I'm like, okay, it depends on the setting. You got to let me know more. Well, RPG survival. Okay, you know what, Ogre? Always make a project, okay? I don't know if Anne of Green Gables is open concept. Not open concept. Oh, my brain just cross-wired. Public domain. But Beauty and the Beast conceptually, not the Disney version, is public domain. And having Beauty and the Beast, and you could give her a different name, study hard and become an evil Lich Queen to avenge what was done to her husband. That sounds like a story. There we go. See, yeah, it takes me a while because my brain outruns me. Probably find a job working in traffic. I'm no hero. See, that's why I said it depends on where I am and what I have. Now, if I'm stuck in wilderness survival, I gotta go wilderness survival mode, which is make a fire, make a shelter. You got to pick one and do it first. Make a shelter. Secure water as a source, secure food, and then you can worry about the other stuff. So yeah, I would go on my rangerish youth. Well, see, and that's the thing. If not, you make a wonderful point. I would rather be sucked into Skyrim or Nine Dragons, or a Frankenstein hybrid of the two. Now, Skyrim, oh, beautiful Skyrim, how I love thee. That may have been what I normally do before streams, or whenever I want to calm down, I go on adventures in Skyrim. When you know the fantasy setting and you know the tropes, that makes it so much easier. When you don't, you have to be careful because there's no guarantee of a respawn, So until I knew otherwise, I'd be operating on heaven help me SAO mentality. And you take, I don't know, Candyland could get, as a DM who made a rather famously a turkey dinner into a devilishly dangerous area, Candyland could be a positive nightmare. I'm already hearing the term licorice whip demon. But for me, survival would be challenging because of my health conditions. If by magic I was made fit enough to survive where I don't have to worry about my breathing machine and meds, oh boy, am I having a good time. I have a background teaching basic sword play. I probably could do that. I've got some literary knowledge and some esoteric studies, so I'd probably be able to wrap my mind around that sort of thing too. One thing I would have, if you're going into an RPG environment, this is your knife. I'm not talking swords. This is a knife. This is my knife, not your knife. Not your knife, my knife. Not your cheese, my cheese. Make sure you would have wow. Hold on. I'm gonna get. Whoa! No notifications. Go away. Go away. Sorry, my screen decided to pop up stuff. You make yourself a staff. You find coordinates. You have a sling, maybe a short club. the basic items that every D&D player should have instant access to if they're anywhere near a woodland environment. And it is really, really funny. I need to pick Skyrim. Our good friend Breton friend Nick has been languishing in Riverwood for a few months. That is scary on so much because, one, yes, I play Breton. That's my favorite class. Two, I just restarted Skyrim so I could turn on the make the landscapes prettier mode, playing a Breton named Nick because I didn't feel like coming up with a clever name. And I hang out in Riverwood a lot. I like Riverwood. It's one of the couple places where, between there and being like business minded in Whiterun, oh yeah, I love it. You can really do a lot from the mindset that, and I wanted to try the fishing mechanic because I'm the guy who plays fishing games in other video games. But yeah, the point being, think about yourself as a character. I got into a lot of what I do because I loved D&D and I love RPGs. Yeah, Base Plus 2 will be coming out real soon. Basically, once I knock the Simple Sword out, I'm going to double down on Base Plus 2. Luke Stone is doing the Hybrids, the Sons of Gods RPG core rulebook, which is one of the flagships of Base Plus 2. I will be putting out something that's a non-licensed version where it's just the rule set and some things I've come up with to make it interesting. But yeah, from that perspective, I have acquired a lot of skills that transfer over. I do some limited bushcraft. I used to do a lot more. I was the guy backpack, go camp. Yay. You have enough food that you don't have to gather. You have fishing gear so you can get better food, but you're not going to starve. And you find a campground that you can just do that at, and you do that. Spend a lot of time in the woods making things. I need to do more, reteach my fingers as they've come back. But I'm a decent shot with a low or medium poundage. I don't think I could do a heavy poundage bow these days. I'm a decent shot with a long gun or a pistol. Don't like full auto anything. It's not fun for me. It's loud and sloppy and not comfortable. But I'm not infantry. I'm not a soldier. He has a curved sword. I do like curved swords. I like straight swords. I like short swords. I like long swords. I do tend toward one-handed in Skyrim logic because of him. Oh, try petting a dog. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. I love the katana love. My point being, I'm fairly diverse with hand weaponry. I know how to make rudimentary armor out of parts. I haven't done a lot of skinning because I'm an empath, so I don't like killing things. But I can mentally. I know the processes. I've done, like I said, a lot of bushcraft, a lot of scroungecraft, which, if that's not a word, it needs to be, where you make whatever you need out of whatever you can find. There is nothing wrong with the 360 version. Just enjoy it. I love the 360 version. If you end up with the Xbox One version, you can download a lot of mods free, and the PC version is insane with mods. For literally any taste. But I'm not a PC gamer because I game out in the living room on my large TV, and I game with my family. And the only reason I play Skyrim, which is one of the very few single-player games I play, is because my son loves to watch it. And at certain points in my life, when I was very poor, that was how I could escape. That was my vacation. But yeah, I can pick locks. Now, I pick tumbler locks. I haven't done warded locks, the old-timey kind, but I'm sure I could learn. Oh, cool. ESO. Dig it. No worries. I'm not giving you... I will never give you guys Flux. Wow. Okay, Henry. I see how you are. Don't look that up, folks. My point being, I have a diverse set of skills, so I think I would function. I've also... The kind of heroism I've learned has not been the I am buff, I can solve things. It's more, let's be smart and get out of here. Very much early Doctor Who. Hi, there's a monster. Can we be kind? No, then we can run. Picking lock. Oh, hold on. Boink. Picking locks is a wonderful puzzle, and that's how I saw it. I would never use my skills for something nefarious, at least in the real world. And the only reason in Skyrim is, there are chests that don't belong to anybody, but they're still locked. I am not surprised that if I said crusade, you would know what I mean. Possibly, and that's not a bad thing, as long as you don't act like the Nords. That whole racial only Nords thing. You could always work on superior wit. You work like... Yeah, see, I could be a bard. I've been accused of being a bard in real life of my subclasses. Oh, right, strategic advance to the rear. Now we're talking tactics, folks. But like I said, I think I can teach basics. It can be. Okay, yes. I have no doubt. Although I'm out of snackos. Probably be mistaken for an Imperial. Wow. You guys are having fun, and I'm all for it. Whatever floats you guys' boat. I do not judge. I'm a married spud. I took a vow of monogamy. That is a word I have to be very careful with my speech impediment, because I do not feel negative about my situation. I don't feel judgmental about others in a different situation, but I don't want to say that word wrong and accidentally get in trouble. Possibly. And figure out what you guys feel. Maybe one of these days I'll cross the streams a bit and I will run a game for 4. 4 is a nice number. Possibly 5. Guildies if I can pick the system. Because I don't really like the excessively complex systems. Okay. Great point. And you know what? I'll deep dive the lore of Skyrim a bit. I have a bit of a problem with that. Join the companion so I can turn furry and eat people consensually, of course. Ha-ha. First off, ha. Secondly, yes, but you damn your soul in Skyrim's lore to being a beast of the huntsman for eternity, and that kind of sucks. Salvangard sounds okay. I'm always looking for the chill afterlife. Like, I'm not a warrior. Well, I've fought a lot of battles, but I'm not that guy. So I don't really think I would end up in a place like that. But I'm not in charge of judging such things, especially in fictional settings. R.I.P. bright orange mechanical pencil. I barely knew thee. That doesn't matter. It's your spirit, because I'm sure I don't have crazy magicka absorbing Breton powers, but you know what? Maybe there I do. And it's interesting. One thing I've always loved is through the portal campaigns. It's a great way to find out about people It's a great way for people to find out about themselves and go, I don't know how to do that. It's also a wonderful tell for what you should carry every day. Now, every day on me, it is in my coat currently because I had to go to the doctor, so I had to empty my pockets into my coat. I have my wallet, which has a number of, useful modern things in it that you would expect. A few unexpected goodies in there. It's just a good thing to have. That's why my wallets are always thick, guys, because there's always stuff more than, not much money, but useful stuff. I have a keychain. This normally has a tape measure, but that broke. And a whistle, which also broke. I need to re-up. But it has at least my evening meds. I don't leave the house without my evening meds. I leave with a lighter. I've never smoked a day in my life, but I've many times needed a lighter, and I prefer to have one. I always have a knife. I like to have a compass if I'm going anywhere that is not from point A to point B. Ha ha ha! Whoo! Okay, wait a second. Oh, if you are fine with going to Hersing's hunting ground and you choose that, that's consensual. I have no bet. Mm-hmm. This gets close to that cryptid conversation. Well, see, one thing I love, Syndicate, through the portal should always come with a clerical magical / upgrade for the conditions that we can't treat or we have to do weirdly medically. I've read somewhere somebody was bipolar and it turned out they have a berserker. Here's an amulet that'll let you control it. Done. It's one of the benefits. I'd love to go through and be like, yeah, you're Malborn. Here. Your bones are now fixed straight. Your muscles work. Short circuits are all fixed. He's retired, love. Yes. Magical absorption, retired. What I wasn't, I functioned somewhere between Giles and Artie. I transitioned almost from Giles to Artie. That's very much my character class. It should shock absolutely no one who knows both Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Artie from Warehouse 13. That's sort of my bread and butter with a whole lot of Doctor Who-esque applied cowardice. Slightly better shape if I have my purse. Yep. Fewer than you think. Because there are only 3 sizes of knife that really apply for self-defense and practicality. You have this. This is my sharp knife. A sharp knife is something where you have to realize edge is a resource that has to be maintained and can be used up. So this is a sharp knife. This is for, of course, I don't go anywhere without it. Then I would have a larger working knife, probably a hatchet. If I were listing off items I usually have packed in my bug-out bags. I also have a bad habit of giving them to people who need them, shockingly. And then you get up to machete length. I will never see a use for a big double-headed sword. It's just not my style. And where I go and what I tend to do, it doesn't fit. Now, axes, oh yeah. Axes are my bread and butter. Let me see. Something like this would probably be a good guy. Sorry, YouTube has been cranky about the photo of my. So I'd have a nice axe, preferably with a slip joint axe, because if the handle breaks, you can replace it in the field. You just have to be able to carve one. So I'm more likely to have this, a decent-sized work knife for the larger preparation type things, food prep, some of the clean out. And that I don't need a lot. Now, a ring style saw, that's handy. Folding saw, that's handy. But I don't have a lot of knives. I really like dwarves, but I'm claustrophobic. A little bit of both. And although I will say, in a setting where dragons are the norm, being able to go into a big stone tunnel they can neither fit in with several angles so they can't breath weapon in too easy. Yeah, I think it makes sense. And see, I do believe absolutely and unapologetically in small magics. And it's like I know a few people who can make coffee the exact same way as anybody else, but it always tastes better when they do it. Baked goods that will make you feel better. There is a Chinese restaurant in Michigan City, Indiana. It's called the Peking. It's on Route 20, just east of 421 on the north side. A little tiny hole in the wall place. It's next to Heroes Haven, my favorite comic and game shop pretty much in the world. But if you go there, you can get the egg drop soup that I swear has cured colds for me. It's amazing. Knowing what you have and what you have. I am functionally a generalist. I mean, like, guys, I don't. That would be like, hey, Nick, we need you to go deal with this barrow full of unseeable, unspeakable horrors. Or, hey, we think something is cursed here. What do you think? I don't want to do that, guys. It sucks. At least with Skyrim, the Fae are out in the open, as a rule, except for the Dryad dudes. But they suck. I don't like the way the mirror are presented. I'm looking at you, Thalmar. But yeah. I'm Breton, which puts me in the middle of the road for a lot of things. I think I'd be okay with that. I'm not the look at me, but baking things that I know. And see, you could make a good life in one of those as long as you have a place. You know, you get in a hole, you set up. And with my luck, I wouldn't be alone, and it would be my job to help people, you know, get the little stuff set up, run messages, you know, train people, teach people, counsel to the fallen and hurt, you know. Basically, yeah, I get real preachery real fast in the old style, you know, kind of chaplainish, where it's not my job to convert you or anything, but it's my job to minister, to help, as it build people up. So that's kind of how my mojo and my attitude works on such things. Awesome. Bring on the upgrades. Technomancy for life. Oh, ow. Well, that stinks. Okay, hold on. Let's do that off camera. Ow. Okay, there we go. I have been a quest giver in my time. And I have been a craftsman. I would love to run a shop. Like, imagine if Bellathor wasn't a twat. No, but yeah, little helping. Looking at Skyrim, I'd have to be a generalist because I can't be a one thing. It's just not in me to do so. But knowing restoration mojo, you know, there's a crafting and alchemy, all about the alchemy. Skyrim alchemy. Because see, you want proof? I'll show you proof. I cheat. I'm admitting it because I played Skyrim many times. Okay, this is my real phone. Generic background. There is literally nothing except Earl Park, which doesn't matter. Skyrim Alchemy. It's a free app. This lets me keep track of what makes what. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Alchemy is money in the bank, and all you have to know is where the butterflies are. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, low risk, high reward. You make your bank, you buy the right stuff, make friends, get a nice little house on the edge of town, and let the guard puff up and fight the dragons. But folks, original multi-class bard, absolute skull, boom, boom. How cool would it be to make enough that you can just hang out in the tavern and be like, I'm playing Ragnar the Red, and yes, Ragnar the Red is the best song in Skyrim. You know, it's right up there. Lindley's stuff, but I'm all about it. So I missed a bit apparently. I was away. Nick does have restoration powers. He made my wife's. I do not. I have no mojo of my own. I have occasionally borrowed some. No mojo. Shh. Because then people will be like, hey, Nick, this has entered the plane again. I have to go, well, you better at least give me a shiny rock so we have equivalent exchange. And then people get butthurt. I'm actually jealous. I would rather have the book. My potions are too strong for you. We better make them a whole bunch of potions so that they don't die. It's like, you drink your potions. No, it's like, I don't know. I try to play Skyrim and stay out of trouble. It's like, I just want to do enchanting and make gear and speech. I like speech. So yeah, that's literally where I focus. I end up with enough destructive magic that I don't have to deal with stuff in archery, because that's the only hunting game I really enjoy. I'm not really big into the hunting games, but I find wandering around hunting in Skyrim to be a lot of fun. So it's soothing. You know, just do your thing. Boom, boom, boom. I spend a lot of time a short walk away from Whitewood. Okay, this is funny. Like, I love a game called Saints Row 3, which is a horrible game for most people. But I play it in the same room as my son. And I have for years. This means two things. I avoid the plot whenever possible, unless he's taking a bath, and then I blast through the plot to unlock stuff. And I have to drive. He's like, Dad, you ran a red light. Hitting is bad. And it's like, yes, this is good. Understand these things. So yeah, I play games like GTA and Saints Row on very hard mode. I like exploring and puzzle solving. Yeah, a lot of fun. And I like that lighter aspect. And I like to learn. It's like, can I learn from this? The survival. So it's like, if I could turn off most of the Skyrim baddies, you know, like just like sliding bar, I don't want dragons today, and you know, most of the stuff, and really kind of mood it to a low level D&D style setting with nothing too hinky, where I can just do cool stuff, I'm all for it. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying I can't do it. But I am also, you know, I'm a game designer, so occasionally I make games and stuff, but I do it from a very old school. I like lower, not no magic, but I like to play with more utility, you know, and not as many crazinesses. That sounds fun, and I will tell you, I'm an absolute Minecraft addict. Minecraft is where the three of us go. Ooh, okay. Do you play Magic? And if not, why not? No. I've been playing Magic since Alpha. I literally did that mission yesterday. You don't want the potion of the stallion? If the potion of the stallion works for more than 4 hours, please consult your local cleric. Report immediately to your local vigilant of Sendar for reassessment. Might and Magic is great. You know what else is great? Zork. Zork is great. And you can still get a hold of those. I like a lot of things like that. I get that feeling. I love it, but I don't love it from the oh my god, I'm a crazy collector. The vast majority of my cards are common that I've acquired in lots or I've been given because I don't like them. Magic does have my favorite card of all time, which is the Fencing Ace, and I have one that was given to me by my nephew. And hold on. I mean, it's a mighty 3 cents in some places, 1 cent in the other. Oh, okay. I can see you getting into that Fallen Angels archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, but they kept rewriting the rules, and I got kind of out of it. Move tab to another window. New window. Boom. One second. This lives on my wall, and I have a 8.5 by 11. I want to get this as a poster because this was given to me, and it made me tear up a long time ago. Oh, I've had different awards, but somebody handing me the Fencing Ace that says, Fencing Ace is a 1/1, one color, one white creature, human soldier with double strike. It does first strike and regular combat damage. The flavor text is his prowess gives the guiltless hope that they can hold out against tyranny. And that's one of those I try to hold myself to. Plus, he's got cup hilt rapier, which just makes me extra happy. But guys, I'm a little bit over my my 2 hour. Oh, we got some more comments. Hold on. Oop. I like Soren. Soren is cool. Okay. That's acceptable. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. Please share it. Yes. I know what you're talking about. And I love like the Kamigawa set. There's a new one that's coming out. They recently did a D&D set, but they upped the prices so much that I didn't really get into it, which stinks because I've been waiting for some of those cards for decades. But I'll let things rattle and I'll catch it when they lose value because they kind of self-lose value. Guys, it is an hour 13 of my hour show, so I want to thank you all for coming out. Wonderful chat. I know today was off the rails. I had a lot of stuff that happened right before broadcast. It's blowing through the cracks in my window hard enough to shake my curtain. So I don't want to get kicked off of my own stream again by the weather. So guys, the Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon at the link below. I'm able to do what I do because of the wonderful folks, most of the chat, who are my Patreon supporters, who just a little bit a month lets me buy gear to review for people, train people who wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise, and keep providing as low as cost as I can produce content that lets folks have a shot at it internationally. The Simple Sword is sold in places like Australia, Germany, a couple countries I can't pronounce, Brazil. So I'm really flattered if I've been able to help. And guys, thank you. Seriously, I really needed this tonight. and I know I can't stay on long because that's not a gag. That's literally the wind through my closed window that's curtained and partially sealed, blowing like worse than my ceiling fan is shaking the curtains. So it's a bad one tonight. So guys, wherever you are, I hope you're safe. I hope you're cuddled with someone you love. And if not, I hope you find someone or something you love of equivalency very soon. We'll talk more shop on both the game design stuff, especially with some releases I have coming, and fight stuff, because I think somebody who's a gamer of experience and swordsman of no small water has a valuable perspective, and so do you. So until I see you next time, folks, do your drills, keep your guard up, be kind to yourself and each other, and thank you for supporting your local Sword Master. As a little caveat, the short video that I put up for Cindy kept answering her question, and the question was, why is there a sawhorse in your list field? Will be going live basically whenever I switch it from private to them, because I wanted her to have first crack at it. If you want more direct stuff, join the Patreon, and I answer questions often with videos and sometimes with even more interesting content that comes from there with priority. So guys, have a good night. Love you.